record. And let's see. Let me know if you can hear me after we start. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It always tells me that the speaker may not be working. I'm like, okay. All right, let me start this up and let me share this. There's a nice little PowerPoint that was created for us. So let me see if I can share that. And into a slideshow. Can you all see that well?
Yes.
I might have to keep moving us around this. Okay. So we're going to go over some information. Some of it you may have already read because I know there's a lot out there, and I know it's coming or may feel like a fire hose of information. And just glean what you can from it. And, you know, as you come back, you always can learn more information. I know I do whenever I go back and read things again. So we're just going to talk about detoxification and how your body cleanses and protects you every day. And that's me, I'm Sherry. So I will be presenting today. So here is your team. This is your detox team, dream team. So this is all the different organs in your body that are helping you thrive and survive because your body really is detoxifying 24/7, especially since there's so much stuff that it has to detox always because of the food, the water, the air that we breathe, everything comes into play. And so our skin, as we know, is one of the biggest organs that is part of that is bringing in and will be detoxifying through sweat generally. And then we have the liver. So the liver is the one that we're keying in on. But then we also have the gallbladder. And like you said, Lynn, that's something that you no longer have, but that is more, involved with fat. Taking care of fat when you eat that, and the kidneys, the lungs, the intestines, the lymphatic system. And when we can bring in less toxins, be it all of those things that I just said, the water, the food, the air, what we use on our skin, all of these things, it really does make a difference. It makes those organs have to work not as hard, and then they can do their job even better. So that's what we want to do. We want to keep them energized, clear, and thriving. So that's our goal here with cleansing our liver. So the skin, like I just said, it is your first line of defense, largest organ. And it's, I don't know if you've thought about it, but, even it removing and sweating out heavy metals. And, when we really get in and sweat, like we do sometimes when we're exercising, or we live here in Florida, and you just go out sometimes and you're sweating, but even getting in a sauna, because the sauna is, actually a really great tool to help us detoxify as well. So, and through the sweating, it's helping us regulate our temperature and then the hydration levels that we have in our body. So, and if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask.
Yes, so, I saw on the one of the slide, well, not the slide, but the day you had the sauna, those red sauna blanket. So those are pretty good, I guess.
I personally don't have one. I haven't tried one. I'd be all up for it, though. I think that, anything we can do, especially with the far infrared saunas, I think is a really great thing. It's, the heat penetrating a little bit more into the skin more internally than just feeling it externally, I think is really good, for us. So if we have access to that, I think that's, amazing. I haven't belonged to a gym in a while because I do teach a class, but I did because Crunch Fitness just opened a gym like 2 blocks away. I decided to go ahead and join that, and I see they have a sauna. Now, I don't know what kind of sauna they have, but yeah. I think really any type of sauna would probably be, very beneficial, for sweating, getting some of the toxins out. I think a lot of people I know, my husband, he believes sometimes that you can eat and drink whatever you want and you'll sweat it out. And I'm like, well, it doesn't quite work that way. It would be nice if it did, and it will remove some of it, but it's not going to get rid of everything that we do. So, but
I think Debbie had one sauna, a red sauna.
I think she had maybe a couple even. There was one, I think, where your head is out and the rest of it, your whole, you sit in it.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting. I don't know if I would like that, but I think that would be kind of, I don't know, might feel weird. I don't know. So, just also keeping our skin, because it is a big detox pathway, keeping it open. So not bringing in the chemicals that, because we use so many different products on our skin, women especially, not all women, but I think, Don, you use a lot of the essential oils, I believe, with the doTERRA. I know they have a lot of products, I think, that are pretty clean. So, just finding clean products. And I think it spoke about it in the program too, with Environmental Working Group. There's other apps too that I'll use on my phone. I think Yuka, YUKA is another one.
Yeah.
That you can just, if you're in the store, it's just kind of cool because you can, scan the barcode and they'll let you know, is this a good product, bad product?
But
did you use it or not?
Yeah.
And there's a couple of others. I know I have some other ones on my phone too, but there's so many ways that we can get information on cleaner products now. All right, so the liver. So here's where the liver is. It's right up under your ribs, up on the right-hand side. So, it is the largest organ in your abdomen, and it's protected by your rib cage. But, it has different lobes on it also, and then it's, working in tandem with the pancreas and the gallbladder and digestion. So, thinking about that too, in this, that how all of the organs are working together, because we were created, all of our organs are supposed to work together. And so we do want to make them function really well so that they will work well together and be able to work in harmony. So, and then, so what functions does the liver have that keeps you thriving? It's really interesting how much blood actually filters through there and processes the toxins, and gets them ready to be removed from the body, producing the bile for the fat digestion, which works in tandem with the gallbladder, balancing your blood sugar and your hormones. So what's really interesting and important, because cholesterol is always made out to be the villain, we need cholesterol. Cholesterol is really super important for our bodies, and the liver is, the place where it is being produced. So it is the top of creating all of the hormones. So if we don't have cholesterol, then it's not able to make those hormones really well. So think about that when if people are taking cholesterol lowering medications, then it's also impacting hormones and how they're also going to be affected. Not just sex hormones, but all of the hormones in your body. So it also, keeps the key vitamins. I'm trying to see here if there was some other information that to share with you also. So let's see that I'm forgetting. So it's helping remove those environmental toxins, and which includes the pesticides, the drugs, the heavy metals, and food additives. It also, let's see, it stores essential vitamins and minerals such as vitamin A, D, E, K, and B12. So that's all stored in the liver. And then it, like I was just saying, you know, it's playing a vital role in the hormone balancing. Also very important to the whole system and your immune system function. And like it says, it can regenerate, which is amazing. So that's how they can, you know, be able to, what I want to say, give another person a piece of the liver, and it, you know, can also, you know, regenerate, which is amazing. It's the only, I think, the only organ that can do that. So what is good for the liver and what is not so good? I think you probably have a pretty good handle on maybe what's not so good. But what are some things that are, you know, maybe you're familiar with, maybe you're not, like dandelion, which is, I just saw, I think it was something on Facebook where a girl was in her yard, you know, and she was picking dandelions out of her yard, and she's like, you know, we've been told these are weeds and they're terrible. And she goes, but they're so good for you. and that's the truth. We've been told they're weeds, and then we put pesticides and fertilizers out there to get rid of everything. And here we have something that is actually really useful for our body. And milk thistle, ginger, if you like it. I don't know if y'all are fans of ginger. I absolutely love ginger. Burdock root and black walnut. Black walnuts also used with, I believe, parasites and getting rid of different things in our body that we may not want there also. So cruciferous veggies, excellent for cancer also, being the cabbages, the broccoli, and drawing a blank right now, but there's lots of different cruciferous vegetables, bok choy and whatnot that you could use. So there's so many things that we can bring in to help support our body. And when we start removing the processed food, the sugar, the alcohol, the drugs, and I'm with the excess protein, I think that some people have maybe gone over the top with protein because we're told, you know, eat a lot of protein, don't eat a lot of protein, you know, go all carnivore, or, you know, no, be vegan or vegetarian. It's confusing out there. But, you know, with the liver, what we're trying to do right now is just kind of pull back for about a week and just let it not have to process a lot. So that's what we're really trying to do here, is just kind of give it a break.
So what would, not for the week, because next week I think it's no protein, but what is it? Because I work out a lot, I do heavy lifting because of muscle, you know, I'm trying to keep the muscle that I got. I don't want to lose them. I find out I did like 5 years ago, and I did another one like a year ago, and I saw the mass, my muscle mass went all the way. I said, oh no, I got to work that out. It says to eat protein. So what is the good ratio? Because their ratio is like you have to eat like 85% of your body. But that's all your protein for the. So it could be in the beans, it could be in your meat, it could be in your, you know, your cheese if you're eating cheese or whatever. It says it's 85%. Is that correct, you think?
So I mean, for me, protein's individual also. And feeling, I think that you'll get a good idea too when you eat protein, how much feels good to you and how much is too much. And then you probably will also get the feeling of, wait, I'm not eating enough, because the protein and the fat is what's going to really help make you feel satiated.
Yeah.
And I know we're drawing back on fat also next week. So just, they're going to, cooking with broth, I think there's a video or two on that in the different recipes.
I do a lot of broth chicken and turkey. I kind of steam it and shred it, and that's my protein for, when I want to munch in a little bit. I try not to use too much because there's enough fat and everything else.
Yeah. So it's just, we're just trying to take a break. So it's 1 week, just giving your liver more of a rest so that it can do more cleansing and healing if it needs to. So that's really the goal of all of this. I would also say, take this to your level that you want to take it to. But if you go all the way with this level, then this is what they're saying. This is what it's going to help with cleansing with the liver out. Okay. For some, it's going to be, to me, it's about eating healthier, which is going to also help, with cleansing the different organs and getting the systems working well together. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, but next week for the detox, it's nothing, just the green, whatever I printed from those little two, and green.
Those are the green is what they're suggesting for next week. If you need to go into the yellow, go into the yellow. And I think the yellow had some meat in it, maybe. I think they were talking about maybe fish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Fish, and I also bought a canister of veggie protein that has like broccoli, sprout, all kind of stuff in it. The one, the third one that you send us.
Okay. Yeah, it may come up in the slides later on. I do know they talk about the different boxes, so let's see what it comes up with. But so just here's a little bit about the gallbladder. Just where it is, and that it's right below the liver, and it's helping with the bile digestion of fats and eliminating toxins also. So, and then the kidneys filtering so much blood through it every minute and balancing out the electrolytes and the pH. And again, it is, to me, it's just amazing how all the different body parts, all the functions that they have and how they all work together. So it's also working with the vitamin D, the liver was, and the kidneys as well, to help us with stronger bones, and then the blood pressure regulation. So here's where the kidneys are. You can see them on either side. Yeah. And then you've got the liver on the one side and the spleen on the other. And then the adrenals sitting right on top. If you can see them, they look like little kidney beans up there. And then the lungs. So just another detox organ that's helping, release the carbon dioxide and bringing in the air and the oxygen, and just, helping the whole system work. We don't think about it with the balancing in the blood pH. I think that's, just so many different things that are done in our system. And then digestion. And like they talked about, digestion actually starts with your nose. Once you start smelling, you smell the food that's being cooked, then you can, your digestive juices start working, right? They start, and so, yes, it's once you put the food in your mouth, those juices are already started, and then it's going all the way through your system, through the esophagus, the stomach, the intestines, and on out through the rectum. So it's a long process. I mean, you can see how the intestine weaves all around, and all the time it takes for it to go through the system so that it can be utilized, all the different parts being utilized from that food into our body. And so then, when we bring in foods that are processed or highly processed foods, your body's not going to get a lot of nutrients from it. And the digestive system has I want to say 50 to 60% of our immune system. So think about that too. And here we have the digestive system and how it moves through, and you can see all the little villi that are helping move the food through. And I don't know, Lynn, I don't know if Dawn that's heard of this too, with, when you have the gluten issues, how that the villi can get worn down and they're not really capable of doing their jobs because of the gluten. So it's when a person has an issue with gluten. And that's where you also have the leaky gut occur, where it causes spaces within the tight junctures for the food to get out into our system. So this is where the nutrients absorbed, and it's, moving the waste out so that it can get out of the system. And protecting us from any pathogens or things that come into our system that shouldn't be there. And then we have the lymphatic system. And I think we've all are familiar with the lymphatic system, and I think that, and it may be talked about further on, about how you can move the lymph through your system to help with the detoxification with the brushing, the skin brushing. I don't know if either of you have ever done skin brushing before.
No.
But that is one way to help move the lymph through your system. And I'm sure you can. What's that?
I did order a brush today.
Oh, good. Yeah. So, I mean, even when I take a shower, I have like it's not a sponge, but like I put the soap on it. It's not a washcloth per se, but it's like more of a natural material. Yeah. And I will brush kind of in the same direction. I'm brushing up toward the heart and bringing it in, the arms to bring it toward the heart, and so get to move the lymph also. So you can, I don't take the time to do the brushing, but when I do, wash myself, I'm thinking about doing it that way. So just different ways that you can help your body, get rid of toxins. So many different things. And we hear a lot about, I think, the lymph system when, people have cancer and they're like, well, did it get into the lymph system? Because it is a big, like we saw in the last frame, that, how it spiders out into the whole system. That, if the cancer does get into the lymph, then it can, move quickly throughout a person's body. So, but it is important for removing waste out and any excess fluid. You can feel it sometimes in different parts. Like when you don't feel good, you might feel, a little bit more in different areas on your body, or even, I know for me, sometimes I'll get the congestion here, and that's, trying to get that, down to move out also. But just another part of the immune defense system. Let me see if I have anything else to go into. Anything for you guys. So just again, how the whole system just works together in tandem. And when one piece of it gets out of whack, then it kind of can mess up the whole system, right? Because they're all got their different functions, and they're all working together. So how can we support our body's detox power? We talked about it a little bit. So eating whole foods, real foods, hydrating our body with good, clean water, and moving our body. Like you talked about, Lynn, with your exercise and lifting heavy. And trying to reduce our toxic exposure. So using essential oils instead of the plug-ins, fragrance. Just being cognizant, thinking about all the different places, not being paranoid, please don't get paranoid, but thinking of all the different places where toxins could possibly enter. And, okay, you look at your shampoo and you go, oh, well, maybe this isn't the best shampoo for what I did, because I don't have, a serious health issue. I'm like, well, when I finish this shampoo, then I'm going to buy something a little bit better next time. So it's just being cognizant of what are you using and how could I, make that better, but not throwing it out necessarily, but, just getting something, stepping those baby steps toward, having something better in your arsenal. So daily detox, starting the day with lemon water. I was listening or reading something where they were talking about lemon water this week, and they were talking about the fact that it's really better, and I've been doing this for years, and I know I think it's an Ayurvedic practice, is drinking warm lemon water in the morning. Not making it lemonade per se with sweeteners, but just drinking that warm lemon water, and that does help with detoxing and really helps your body. So, what else can you do? Move and sweat. Get out and walk. Enjoy the outdoors. It's still there's still a little bit of coolness in the air when you're in the shade. Maybe not at noon, but this morning I was kind of surprised when I took the dog for a walk that it was still a little bit in the shade. It was cooler, so not cold, but for this time of year, I thought, and deep breathing. Breathing is really, really a good way to, for stress, and to remove the stress, because then that's also helping your body function normally. But just getting that oxygen into your system. And then we already talked about, using the dry brushing. All right. I don't know if you can you see this well with the?
I printed it. It's on my refrigerator. I have it.
Okay, good. So I don't know. Did you have some questions on here? Okay.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, oh no, the chicken's in the yellow.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, if you want to go into the moderate, because this is a big change for you.
Very restrictive.
It is very restrictive.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about, taking more of the fats out, and it's getting very restrictive. So, and I know what you mean by, the protein aspect of it. Now the bone broth.
You have
there's some bone broth, like powders and whatnot that are very, very good. And there's some bone broths.
I did
one that I have.
7-day water fast once, and I broke it with bone broth, and I cried tears of joy. I had never tasted something so divine in my whole life. And I knew it, like, with real stock and everything. Like, I made it myself, and I just sat there and wept.
Nice.
And my husband, like, I was an idiot. And then, like, the couple days, like, later, I was like, oh, I still have that bone broth. I should drink some more of it. It was so delicious. Man, that stuff wasn't delicious. I just hadn't eaten 7 days. It wasn't divine at all, but it was a whole experience moment, boy, when I drank that bone broth for the first time. Oh, have
Hallelujah,
y'all ever
something
done
with
a water
taste.
fast?
I have not gone full on water fast, because when I fast, I will actually, it's kind of more of what I would call a liquid fast, and I will do bone
Right.
broth in there,
Yeah.
coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
It's intense,
So
man.
not a
That's
straight
the hard
on.
done.
Yeah, the first 3
Yeah.
days is like, oh Lord, yeah.
Yeah. So when I looked at this,
Yeah.
I was like, well, just remember, Dawn, you get to eat something, you know. So, but sometimes just any choice is harder than, you know, sometimes nothing is easier than something. I
Well,
think that's why I struggle with food so much, is it is the constant choices.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you can make a big, huge soup with vegetable broth.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
But
You could. Yeah.
it's better to have it. I think I could do a big juice in the morning, you know, with everything.
Right.
And then
Right.
for
Mhm.
something
Big night.
warm, I drink soup every day. I make always like a big batch of soup. Usually it's with cabbage and stuff like that, but it's vegetable broth too.
Nice.
Right. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
So,
What about fruit wise though? What can we have for fruits? Like I do have melon, watermelon. Sometimes I don't see a lot of fruit in here.
It says low
I
glycemic
think
fruit, so that means none of the delicious
that's what
ones.
it means your berries is what it means. And
Okay, I like blueberry. I'm just not gonna eat the Greek yogurt with it. You're good. I'm good with berry.
yeah, so I would say the low glycemic is generally berries.
I love berries.
And then I think I didn't see anything on here about apples, but your Granny Smith is generally considered, I believe, a low glycemic fruit.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You can put a
that would
cinnamon.
be.
Put cinnamon on it. I don't know if about spice.
No,
green.
I think you can. I can use your spices, I would say. I don't see anywhere where it says you can't use spices. Yeah, because cinnamon is very good for you, actually.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, I mean, really, honestly, any of the spices, we have all the spices, so there's no reason to say, the food's bland, because we got all the spices. You can use all of them.
Yeah.
I would say.
I make it in the oven. I slice them really thin. I put them in the oven with a little bit of cinnamon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah.
Apple.
So, yeah. Now, if you go toward the red apples and the Red Delicious and what is the one? Is it Gala? The Gala is like really sweet, I think.
No.
There's one of them that's I've eaten and I'm like, whoa, that's super sweet. But the Granny Smith is generally what I will go toward on that. So, yeah. So, and then let's see. I don't think it said. Yeah, and I would just say, because
I heard papaya. I saw papaya somewhere or something, but that's sweet.
Which one?
I thought I saw
papaya.
Yeah, did I saw papaya somewhere in one of them?
Oh, did you? I was going to say papaya. I would think would be very sweet.
Have a page. Do you have a second page of that?
Yes, I think so. There we go.
On the second page.
So you have apple, blackberry, blueberry, kiwi.
Oh, it does have papaya there.
Yeah, it does have papaya.
And that's but it could be what it is. It has a special thing in it that it does detox maybe help detox maybe.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, so you do have a lot of different fruits that you can use.
Yeah.
And then the fermented fruits or foods.
Pear is sweet. Yeah. I wouldn't eat
pear. Can be sweet, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about the mangoes too. Mangoes is not on there, but what's interesting about that is I was talking to somebody who's from the Dominican, and he's a chef. And what they would do is they would take the mango when it was still more hard, more to the green side, and they would peel it and then, cut it into cubes and put it in a jar of salt water.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
And I would say that that's not high glycemic, but it's when you let it, ripen more, that's when it really, and you can definitely, just like bananas, when you let them really ripen.
Those green bananas, the one that Latin people, they fry, but I used to make those, but I would fry them. They're very tar, but you fry them with coconut oil, which is it's like the MTC oil,
MCT, yeah.
I just make them and smash them, and people would go crazy over it because, they still had the little coconut.
Is that what we, Is that what we had on Monday night? Was plantains, right?
Plantain, that's sweet.
Yeah, that was plantains. That was fried plantains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are sweet, no?
I didn't think they were that sweet.
Those were the
ones we had.
No, the plantains,
they were flat fried.
Yeah. But if you fry it in coconut, it's much healthier for you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that one was fried
in charge.
Not if it was in a restaurant. No.
No, it was Las Americas.
That's right. Yeah. So, any other questions on like some of the cooking oils or the inflammatory oils? I think we've had.
That is it. It's the MTC, no, or MC, whatever it is, which is coconut oil, no.
It's medium chain triglyceride is what MCT stands for, and it is derived from coconut oil.
Coconut oil, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not full on coconut oil. It's a portion of the coconut oil. Yeah, I think the MCT oil is not for cooking, only use raw. I would not cook with the olive oil either.
No.
I wouldn't cook with it at all.
But
I would just.
I don't think we should do it for the cleaning liver. Maybe at the end, but not now.
No, it's in the yellow, so no.
Huh.
It's like I said, it's up to you how far you want to take it, but yeah. So the yellow is. They're talking about.
I'm talking
about taking the oils out in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm taking all out. I'm not doing it halfway.
No, that's fine. No.
Not stopped the coffee yet, and I'm gonna start Sunday. I will. No more for a week. I'm fine when I stop. I don't have withdrawal. It's just I like coffee, so.
Yeah.
But it's like
I
do drink a little. I drink less now because at work I need it, but I drink it's an espresso. I have a couple espresso. So yeah. So Sunday will be espresso.
Okay.
For a week.
Yeah. I would need to taper down. So I will need to taper down.
I think.
All right. Then
I don't have a problem with that because because it's organic and it's espresso. I don't know. When I used to drink American coffee, oh my God, I would be sick for 3 days. Like I would have had the flu when I quit caffeine.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
With espresso, I don't have that issue. I can snap it out. I just
Well, espresso you don't drink as much either.
No.
Right? Is that correct?
Yeah, and espresso has less caffeine than regular coffee, which is kind of weird.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to me it seemed like it was a more concentrated form, but I don't know.
Less caffeine. I don't know less, but way less. And then if you drink it organic, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But that's another 7 days without it. So maybe next week I'll be in a little bit meaner mood, but.
Well, I do know that when I was going through my initial certifications, way in the beginning of health coaching and whatnot, we did do a cleanse and giving up the coffee and all caffeine. And my friend's husband was like, okay, I'll try it. And he was just like, I feel so much better. And he's like, I'm not starting it again. And she's like, he was a much nicer person. So
I did 6 months.
I don't know.
Yeah, 6 months I did no caffeine at all. It's just because I work. My work is very demanding, so my brain needs to be like ready. And also, I think it helps me not having my iron so high because I have very, very, very high iron. So,
Okay.
so I have to give blood every so often. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that is good for that. All right. So, other ways to detox or to support the cleanse. There's maybe some new ones. I know we've talked about most of them. Epsom salt baths we didn't talk about. Castor oil packs. There's a handout in there for that. I know rebounding, getting one of those little trampolines.
Yeah.
Or if you got a big one in your backyard, hey, I would get on it. EMF detox, so getting away from those, the EMFs. I would say you could even do a digital detox. I think you talked about that, didn't you, Dawn? About having done that?
Yeah.
Or no, yeah, I think Michelle was talking about it too.
What about Beamer? Is that good too, or should I not do it? Because I do usually.
No, I would do it.
Okay.
I would use it.
Okay.
Because it is, yeah.
And
I went with Debbie when we went over to Liechtenstein and talked to them and learned more about it. And one of the things one of the people said about it that I thought was just defined it really well is it's used to bring the groceries into the cells and take out the trash.
Okay.
So that is a form of detoxing.
So I will. Yeah, there's certain things that sometimes they don't want you to continue, but I do it every day. So. Yeah,
I would say go ahead and do that. And Dawn, that's a PEMF mat is what it is, if you're not familiar with Beamer.
For the EMF, I have because I work on computer, I do have a big machine that does over 3,000 that way, 3,000, like all around me, kind of contradict the whatever. It was expensive, but it's supposed to work. So I don't know. Well, lets you know.
Oh. So that's interesting.
The cell phone, the TV, all the
EMF. That's yeah.
Yeah, all the 5G, yeah. So.
Yeah. So I think you both have been through some types of cleanses and may have experienced Herxheimer before. So are you both familiar with what the Herxheimer is? With your body can feel like it has the flu, or you can get headaches, or you can feel extremely tired and weak. It really depends on how many toxins do you have, or if you're coming off caffeine, we can have the withdrawals from that, and or sugar, and or alcohol. So any of those things can create those kind of effects. So just changing your diet as far as going cleaner, that can also create Herxheimer. So, and that is the end of that. So
we start Monday, Nat? It's Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Monday we'll start, and it will end the following Sunday. And then we'll talk about it next week, because next Wednesday we'll have another call. And then I did add another call the following week, so that while you're going through reintroduction of foods, because we'll talk a little bit about reintroduction also next Wednesday. But so the final Wednesday, I thought, it might be a good time to talk to your experiences, and if there's any questions with reintroduction and that kind of thing. So I'm here to support you. Please reach out. I think you both have my cell phone number.
I have one more question to ask you. I know it's for the week. When you do a reintroduced, I'm allergic. I'm not allergic, but I get inflamed a little bit. I don't know if it's because I reintroduced some of the nuts,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. There's one of them, and I don't know which one that I can see like it.
Okay.
If I eat a lot, if I'm going to have like almond milk a lot or macadamian, so I don't know. How long does it take before you think? Takes 3 days. I should introduce myself to, let's say, the almond milk first, or the Coke, whatever.
Sure. I mean, or you could just straight up eat almonds, and because that might be a more concentrated form of it, of the almond. And once you pull everything out like we're doing, it's a great time to figure out, hey, what foods do work for me and which don't, and then going forward from there, then you can decide, okay, well, I know cheese bothers me, and
No, I know cheese.
maybe I'll have it occasionally, but I'm just saying, whatever it is, just having that knowledge of what works for my body and what doesn't. And for you, the if it is almonds or whichever nut it is,
yeah, I got it.
it's probably a food sensitivity and not an allergy.
No, it's not.
Per se.
It's that, and also with the beans, the legume. Like, I don't know which one. Is it the black bean? Is it the red bean?
Yeah.
Because I introduced them all at the same time when they came back. You know what I mean? I just
right. And that's what I'm saying. When we just start reintroducing it, it's a great time to add a food in and then see, does this work or not? Pull it back out.
Yeah.
And then I think that
is how long
I do
3 days, you think?
I'm sorry.
Eat it.
I think you eat it a few times one day and then pull it out and see what happens.
Okay.
For a couple of days. I got to relook at how they do the reintroduction because I'm mixing it up with the way that I do it because I have a 6-week wellness program and we do go through the reintroduction, but we pull it all back out and then we try another food. So there's no wondering if, which food it is. Because a lot of times it's right in your face, or for me, it's right on my face, or because I'll break out. Or get sinus congestion is another thing that I experience. It's like not bloating. I don't get the bloating thing, but I might break out like a teenager. So, yay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, feel free. You can text me, email me, or whatever if you have questions. I'm here for you. Oh, you guys are putting stuff in the chat, and I didn't even look. I'm so sorry, Dawn. I didn't even see it. Yeah, Dandelion is good.
I was trying to participate and stay on mute. So I just came off mute.
You'll spend money on high quality ginger beer. Nice. I
love ginger beer. It's like my favorite because I mix it with like different, like real good